What's up, YouTube? It's me, Nick of Time. I'm coming at you.
Start that over.
Start that over. Why? It's exhausting.
You got the voice right.
You got it. Yeah, there was a stumble.
There's a stumble. YouTubers don't stumble.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they practice it 8,000 times, and I haven't practiced this.
Yeah.
I literally just thought of this.
Give yourself a countdown. Sorry, in your brain. Get it down.
2.
All right.
3, 2, 1. What's up, YouTube? It's your boys, Nick of Time, Johnny Karate, and Dig Dug, aka Background Man. We're coming at you with another edition of PopPlay. It's 360 degrees of 4K pop culture love right here at the Ocho. Now, this week it's all about Star Wars. We're going to be playing a little bit of Battlefront. Right here, Johnny. He's played with Darth Vader. He's stumbling. He's running into the hallways of Hoth. It's great. Now, if we could get
frosty.
If we could get 2 likes on this video, that would be absolutely insane. And hit the subscribe button. If you do subscribe, you get the...
button.
Yes, we do.
You got a subscribe button now?
All right.
If you subscribe, you get the added bonus of every single video we publish on WFAA.com. Now, with that said, let's get on to it. That's exhausting. How do they do that?
So racist.
Sorry. Is it?
Professional.
This week in Florida, they did the big Star Wars celebration, 40th anniversary of Star Wars. So, for those of you who are around in 77, feel old.
Me.
Yep, you're old.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't remember that. I remember when they did the re-releases. I took off school one day and went and saw one of them.
Well, that's cool, though.
Yeah.
Is it? Is it cool?
I saw them all at the day they opened.
Well.
So did anyone here actually watch all the celebration stuff?
Yes, I did. I watched the Last Jedi panel, which we'll get into, and the 40th anniversary. And I was telling Doug a little bit earlier, I haven't really watched a whole lot of Mark Hamill talk, but he's delightful.
Wow.
I want to like...
His voice still bothers me.
Well, that's because you're a robot and you have no soul.
Wow.
But, I mean...
So I'm just going to say wow. It's just so much wow going on right now.
But, it's like people like, oh, I want to go have a beer with that guy. I kind of just want to have a meatloaf with Mark Hamill and his family and drink blue milk and talk about, what happened in that car accident.
He always likes my tweets or retweets them. So
see, that's cool.
That always makes me happy. I think I've always thought he was the coolest ever. When we were kids and we played Star Wars in the backyard and everything, I was just like, wouldn't it be cool if Mark Hamill was actually here and playing with us?
So, real quick, we're watching Johnny play Battlefront here. This is probably the best way, game developers, if you're listening, this is the best way to handle, hey, my game hasn't fully installed yet. I mean, because he's just walking around being Darth Vader, causing all kinds of havoc. I think this was one of the coolest ways that I've ever seen a game kind of handle, we can't really let you play the game yet, so here's a different game instead.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I have no idea what I'm doing, though.
That's okay.
I have this on PS4. We're playing on Xbox right now, and I just haven't played this in so long.
It's weird because I played the beta of this for so long, and when it came out, I would play the beta for like 24 hours straight. And so, when the game finally came out, it was almost like I had been playing it for a month anyway. So it was really weird. It was like, this is fun and everything, but I've done all this, and so I couldn't wait to get to the new levels and everything. I think the announcement of the new Battlefront, though, at Celebration has me very, very excited.
So we need to talk about that.
Yeah.
The Battlefront 2 trailer.
Which they showed the trailer at Celebration in Orlando, and it takes place in all the Star Wars universes, which is kind of amazing, and it's everything that everybody wanted with this game, kind of after they perfected what they were going to do with this game. So I think we're going to have single-player missions or campaign missions.
Which is good, because I really enjoyed Battlefront, but it didn't hold my attention very long.
Well, I enjoyed it for...
It's beautiful.
I enjoyed it for like a month or two until people just got like crazy good at it, and then I couldn't play it anymore. Like, I tried to log on a couple months ago, I think, and play it on the PS4, and it's just like, it's now like every other shooter. It's like a Call of Duty. I jump into the level, and obviously you can see I'm not very good. And just die immediately, and that's not fun.
I enjoyed the weekly glitch that everyone would take advantage of and freak out over. So there would be some.
Yeah, but that's every game, though. I mean,
It would be, but
you knowing YouTubers who like, I've got the glitch that you need to see before they patch it.
But it was great because it
By the way,
involved
every YouTuber's British.
characters that we all knew and loved. So every week there'd be, hey, it's the Lando glitch, and
The Lando glitch.
stop doing the Lando glitch.
Lando glitch was my band
So,
name.
what do we
that's
know
nice.
about the campaign? What is it going to be? The story?
Well, there's, they introduced a new character.
Yeah, that's the TIE fighter pilot who looks suspiciously like Maggie from Walking Dead.
And I am convinced it is Maggie from Walking Dead because I went and looked her up, Lauren. I can't remember Lauren's last name. I looked her up and
Look it up quick.
She was a voice in Destiny, which I was like, oh,
Yeah, and I didn't know that. till
that's
you mentioned
amazing.
that.
So now I love her even more, and I'm kind of convinced it's going to be her. We'll find out. And probably somebody's already answered this. I haven't done enough deep investigation.
We're unprepared this week. We don't have laptops or iPads or anything.
I know it's kind of weird. I'm kind of in the mode of
basically
just
from what I've heard, it's like what? What's
No,
up?
no,
Just
go ahead.
interrupting.
No, you're fine.
Well, basically, from what I've heard, it's going to span all the universes.
Yep.
And her character, you're going to start out with her. She's like 20 years old, and she watched the Death Star blow up during one of her missions, and
Very
that kind of
traumatic.
starts the game. And then you play with her all the way through her in like her 60s.
oh cool.
So
fun.
that's supposedly like the storyline of what's.
I'm
what's
just excited that a TIE fighter pilot finally gets the front of the poster,
happening. Yeah.
Usually you
Well-
just see them in like really shaky cockpit scenes and like stars, and they don't say anything, and they just kind of look like weird beetles like crammed into a...
They're always
Pop
red.
can.
They're red shirts.
They are red shirts. That's true.
And then there's the whole thing how, you're playing as someone that truly believes that the Empire is the good guys and like you're on that side, and then everybody's wondering if you're going to go back and forth, and I don't know. It seems
Well, I mean,
pretty cool.
even Luke wasn't always convinced that the Empire was the wrong side of things.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Right.
was trying to get to the academy before we
Okay.
told him not to.
So I'm going to pause this real quick and bring up on YouTube the Last Jedi trailer.
Okay.
I figure we could watch that and start and stop, give our reactions. to
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Let's get into the pretty fantastic Last Jedi trailer.
Yeah.
While we're looking
were
for
your
it here, what
initial
did you guys
impressions?
think? Yeah.
At first, I was a little worried that we're just gonna see a bunch of still shots, and it's gonna be super teasery. But actually, I was glad that it got into actual seeing some new spaceships, which is my key point of any Star Wars movie. I just want to see new spaceships.
That's it.
Okay.
That's all.
Well, you got to see some new spaceships, I suppose.
We got to see some dirt.
Some dirt.
We got to maybe see
Red dirt.
Yep, red dirt, which looked like blood. We maybe got to see some AT-ATs. I know I have friends online that are convinced they're not AT-ATs. And then I've also done my research to find out that there's something called a gorilla walker that was referred to on set because it had the stance of a gorilla or the shape of a gorilla.
All right.
Watch your finger. It's really weird on the... Yeah, that's freaking me out.
That's what you're getting stuck on is her finger.
Because somebody made it into a GIF, and I was like, "Oh, what? She bends her finger so weird."
I don't know about you guys, but like literally every time that comes up, it's just like little chills every time.
and cheering.
Oh, this TV has the soap opera effect turned on.
That's okay.
It's horrible.
That's another topic.
It'll probably have
Like
scam.
we work
Oh,
at
there's
a
Luke.
TV station and we have TVs with soap opera effect turned on.
That's cool.
So that's Leia.
Yep.
And she's. It
Looking
looks
at-
like she's on the bridge of a ship. No,
Oh,
there's my
okay.
conspiracy theory right there.
Here, you gotta pause and back up a little bit here.
So I know that we've.
All right, so there's been a big argument in the office, I guess, the WFAA office about whose helmet this is.
So it's like 95% Kylo Ren's helmet, right?
That was my first reaction. Was Kylo
It's
Ren.
not.
See, Doug doesn't. Whose helmet do you think that is?
I don't know. You know, I like your theory of it could be another Knight of the Ren, but I think the first thing I thought was Darth Vader's helmet. And if you see the parts that are broken, from the helmet that's actually metal broken at metal. It's raw metal that's showing through there. So that's not Kylo's silver things that go, his bands on his helmet. That's the raw metal when it's been split.
I guess I just don't see Darth Vader helmet in that at all.
I think it's meant to evoke the Darth Vader image from the first trailer that we saw for The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
You hear the breathing.
I hear the breathing.
Again, I think it's 95% that's Kylo Ren's helmet, but before Doug stole my thunder on my conspiracy theory, yes, I think there's a very small chance this could be a different Knight of Ren.
So what's all the glass?
Somebody needs to clean that up because somebody's gonna get cut. I have no idea what it is. And I was thinking maybe Kylo's on a new ship and he's put Darth Vader's helmet in a glass box like for display, so maybe charging stormtroopers to come in and look at it. Even maybe it's an alternative revenue device.
Well, all
gets
that went
angry.
Up.
That's true. But you don't know. I mean, it could have, and he could have gone back and found it.
It's funny. Doug's whole theory revolves around a new ship.
It does. And then he gets mad.
I think he's actually right to some degree because, I mean, Death Star 3.0 blew up, right? So Kylo's helmet's gone. All of the Vader relics are likely gone. Right. Because I don't think he had enough time to get out of the creepy forest thing, collect all of his stuff. Right. Somehow get Phasma out of the trash compactor, which we also need to talk about. But, so he's probably got a new helmet. The question is why is the new helmet already donezo?
I don't know. Maybe the same reason that they moved his scar. They felt like it was cheesy, I think.
It's not as big. It's not as prominent as it should have been.
But I read something yesterday about how the director said that they moved his scar because it looked silly in the other spot.
And I've read on Reddit that people said, I'm glad everyone's playing along with this joke. So I don't understand exactly what that means. Yeah. I couldn't quite figure it out, but Ryan Johnson did tweet out that the scar looked silly when it went across the bridge of his nose.
And that's fine. I mean, this is the universe where they've got just completely insane prosthetics and other medical technology.
And you float in water and you get...
I feel like we could have fixed a scar, but...
You don't float in water in our universe?
No. Not those tube things that in the hospital,
okay. Gotcha.
Like Luke does.
All right.
Anyway, moving on. So let us know what you think. Is that another Knight of Ren? Whose helmet is it?
Darth Vader.
It's not Darth Vader. Yoda's bookshelf makes a return.
Is that what that is?
No,
That's Yoda's
I don't think so.
No. It makes me think it is. But Nick pointed out, when have we ever seen books in the entire Star Wars universe?
I've never seen books. And now they have the map and everything.
Oh. Okay, so this is also... There's Doug's favorite ships with the weird blood dirt. Lots of stuff happening here.
And then Poe loses his ship. That's an awesome shot.
Obligatory Millennium Falcon.
That's an awesome shot.
There's the move scar.
We think this is a flashback. There's Phasma.
Now I want to talk about Phasma too.
Okay, I'll take it back here.
Because we all understand that's one of the few sins of Force Awakens was the tragically underused Captain Phasma.
For as cool as she looks.
Yes, for as awesome as she is.
It didn't really bother me, but I remember hearing people complain about it.
Well, I mean, she was kind of like super hyped for 2 years, and then it's, Yeah. Anyway, so is this a flashback, or did she make it out of the implied trash compactor
I think that's
incident?
a flashback that's part of Rey's... that was part of Rey's flashback when she grabbed the lightsaber in Force Awakens.
That's a Force vision?
I don't think it's... I think it's actually what she saw when she had the flashback. It's showing us in real time what occurred.
Or this is like Rogue One and none of this is actually going to be in the movie.
Well, I think so. The very first scene you see there, and somebody else brought this up to me earlier. So that's obviously the scene where Luke loses probably his Jedi Academy. He puts his hand on R2 from Force Awakens, right?
Right.
But they've cut this with the Phasma entrance, but that's a completely different location because there's like the entrance of a ship or a something that she's walking into.
I thought it was that door right there. That door right there.
Well, you have trouble identifying metal, apparently. Yes. So but I mean, I think it's the interior of a battleship or something like that. So I think these two scenes are not related.
It's going to be so awesome to call this back and go, na, 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 na.
I don't know. I don't think I have an opinion on it.
See?
I like
So
those
So what are
ships, too.
these? Are these the new Imperial capital ships?
These are kind of.
And I'm not a good enough nerd to know
Yeah, I
what
don't
these
know
are.
What those are either.
I want them to kind of make a force field wall that's like a blockade kind of thing, like the.
Right before they take down Ronan's ship,
Yeah,
the Nova Corps should
Uh-huh.
show up.
like the portal thing in Rogue One. I want those to be kind of that. Oh, and then there's the line that let's all be honest. Johnny said it was not Luke Skywalker that said that line.
Yeah, I didn't think it was Mark Hamill, but then I went back and rewatched it, and you can see his lips moving, so I guess it's him.
Yeah, no, I think it's him. To kind of go back real quick to our celebration talk, you know, Daisy, one of the only few things she actually said, Daisy Ridley said that meeting Luke, it's the story about you have to be careful when you meet your heroes and they aren't who you think they are. So I think
Which everyone, ooh.
So most of the I think most people think that, you know, she's found Luke, he's disillusioned, and he's kind of ready for the whole thing to just
Be done.
go away and be done with it.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, everybody's wondering, what does the Last Jedi mean? And I think it's obvious that it's Luke right now because, I mean, she doesn't have her training certificate yet, so he's actually the Last Jedi. But I think she becomes the Last Jedi in
Right.
in
He
time.
is the Last Jedi, but just for a little while.
Right.
Is what you're saying. Yeah.
My chair is sinking.
And my chair used to do that in my office. So yeah, Ryan Johnson did say that, and I've heard two things, but the ABC interview said he says the title is singular. So and it's funny because he said I've never really thought about it. And I was like,
How do you not even think?
how
about
do you
that?
not think about that?
That's a lie. That's
Yeah.
fake news.
Yeah. He probably just was avoiding saying something that he shouldn't say.
Yeah, which he almost got busted during that ABC interview. He,
He did.
stopped himself.
He almost said. He almost let it out of the bag there.
Yeah.
All right. So next up is the fact that there's no Leia in Episode 9.
Super sad.
Very sad.
I think we all kind of figured that, though, right?
Well,
Well, yeah.
I kind of got in hope when her brother Carrie Fisher's brother was starting to say that she was going to be in 9. Then when at Celebration they showed the Carrie Fisher tribute, which if you haven't seen, you need to watch, and bring a huge box of
It is.
tissues.
It's really good. I did watch that.
So you know, and then, you know, at that point I was like, well, maybe she doesn't need to be. Maybe, you know, it's time to remember her and we can move on, because then we're not all freaked out by the weird CG stuff. You know, it's like,
Yeah. I didn't.
and they're not
you know,
gonna do that, right?
I didn't even notice it when I was watching Rogue One the first time in theaters, but then after reading all the articles about it and rewatching Rogue One like a couple weeks ago, it feels weird.
it's really funny because there were audible gasps in the screening that I saw, both for her and for
Yeah. There were.
Tarkin, yes, earlier in the film, and which is hilarious because then when I talked to people afterwards, I was like, "What did everybody gasp about?" And somebody said, "I was amazed she was in it," and another person said, "I thought he was dead," and I was like, "Wait, you didn't realize those were CG people?" And then
Yeah.
people were like, "Oh, they
Well,
were?"
My girlfriend didn't realize it either. When I told her, she was like, "Oh, really? They were CG?" I think she noticed the last one, the Leia one, but the other one.
And
she
now
didn't.
Johnny's not going to be allowed back in the house.
That's true. As I've gone back and watched Rogue One several times, I don't notice it as much as I did the very first time. I don't know what it was that
Yeah, I thought. Well, specifically Tarkin, I thought held up, especially on repeated
yeah,
viewings.
it gets
became
better.
convincing.
It's weird.
I kind of wish they had just handled Leia a little bit differently. Like, do the whole like window into the thing. Like, I don't know that we needed to hear her speak and get all up
Exactly.
close.
I don't even know if we even needed. If we could just see her from behind, I would have been
That would have
totally
been
fine
enough,
with that.
Really.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Obviously, we should have made the movie.
I know. And then everyone would have complained, "Hey, we have enough technology. Why didn't we just turn the camera around?"
Right.
So
Yeah.
you're never gonna please everyone.
The game installation is at 79%.
Wow, this is kind of hauling.
I think it's going to finish around the time we're done with
We're
the
finished.
podcast.
Amazing.
You know what though? I kind of don't mind just watching Darth Vader because
No, yeah,
so to
I
go
don't
back
have to concentrate on this too much.
Yeah, to go back to Rogue One real quick though, that Darth Vader was the Darth Vader we always wished we could see.
You and I had this conversation. Like, I can't ever take Darth Vader seriously because of how overly big his helmet is, and it always wobbles around. So everybody always talks about Darth Vader being this like really super scary villain, but he's just silly to me. I don't know.
Well, we've already established again. You have no soul. So. But no, you're right though. When we were watching Rogue One specifically, I was like, man, his helmet's flopping around. Like, has it always done that? And I went back and watched the originals. I'm like, oh my god, it's always flopped around. How did we never notice that before?
Yeah, and I think what was scary for me as a kid, what made him scary, is that I thought he was a robot, like he's just this mean robot. And same with Stormtroopers. When I was a kid, I thought, oh, these are like the worst robots ever. And I never made even though that you had Luke and Han dressed as Stormtroopers.
You just thought they were.
I still thought they were just using robot stuff. So yeah, I always thought he was like the scariest when I was a kid because I was like, robots were terrifying to me.
Yeah, they're still terrifying.
I think it's interesting also to find out how in Rogue One how quickly that scene came together, how quickly they put that together at the last minute.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be in there, right?
Yeah, and it took them 3 days.
Totally worth it though.
It was amazing, and it got huge audience reaction. I love that they were able to kind of finagle that movie as they went along. I kind of wish we could see everything that was filmed or everything that was shot because I'm just the completist in me wants to see.
Well, they said they went back and like made it a lot less warlike and a lot less real, and I would much rather go watch the real version.
And sure, why not? You know, if
I like
take the chance. Go ahead and commit.
I like what we got. I just love the whole process of getting to that point. As a person who enjoys the process of movie making, I really like to find out what everybody went through. And
I really, I didn't like Rogue One when I saw it in theaters. I was pretty disappointed by it. But when it came out on Blu-ray, I went back and rewatched it and kind of, it didn't bother me. I guess I was just expecting the wrong.
That is about as good an endorsement as we can expect. I didn't like it too.
The poster quote says it didn't bother me.
It didn't bother me.
Yeah,
I like that.
I liked it a lot more the second time around. I think just because I wasn't expecting a Star Wars movie. Like, I think I told you guys, like, Star Wars feels like a homage to like old samurai movies.
Oh, sure.
And that movie Rogue One was totally a homage to like old war movies. It was completely different sort of tone and feel inside the Star Wars universe.
In fact, it was kind of a direct homage to Kurosawa films because, in fact, one of the guys, and I'm going to forget his name, unfortunately, was actually asked to be Obi-Wan, and he didn't like it because he actually thought it was too much of a parody of samurai culture, and he didn't want to go down that road. But yeah, no, it's a direct homage to samurai culture. Even Darth Vader's design is fairly Asian influenced.
Oh, fairly. It is very.
If not,
yeah.
I say
I'll
fairly because
some of the images and put them over here right now.
I just want to point out it had cool new spaceships.
It did have cool new spaceships.
So we need to talk about the Star Wars land at Disney World.
This is Doug's area of expertise.
Oh, wait. Before we get to that, Han Solo predictions, just really quickly.
The movie predictions?
Yeah.
I'm not excited about it.
I'm excited about it now, but it's taken me a little bit to get to that point.
Why are you not excited about it?
It's sort of one of those things that it's going to be hard for me to see someone who's not Harrison Ford in that role.
Who is it? Who did they cast?
Dave Franco.
They cast him?
No, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even sure because I'm so uninterested in it right now.
We have so needed to have committed this to memory. Like, we should have a quiz prior.
Are you saying we should have prepared?
I'm excited for it because of Childish Gambino. What's his?
Yeah, Danny Glover.
Yeah,
that'll be cool. I mean,
I think he's
it'll
gonna be
fun.
really good.
Yeah.
But how big of a role is he gonna have in the movie? But I don't know. I don't really have a lot of feelings towards it either.
It's Rogue One as kind of the first spin-off that we've seen.
Yeah.
Kind of gives me hope that they'll handle it well, and I mean it'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
But
it seems like it's going to be more like we were just talking that my prediction for it is like, the regular Star Wars universe is the samurai homage. Rogue One was the war movie homage. It kind of seems like
obviously it's going to be the buddy cop film.
My guess is it's going to be more of like the classic Hollywood homage.
That could be.
Force Awakens was the Star Wars.
Lots of musical numbers.
Yeah, Force Awakens was the Star Wars homage.
It's Alden
Right.
Einreich? Enreich?
Okay,
Well,
so
he'll be a star afterwards.
those are the Han Solo.
Ehrenreich. Alden
Prediction.
Ehrenreich.
Those are our
I'm
very
pronouncing it.
uninformed Han Solo predictions.
Star Wars Land at
Okay,
Disney World.
so this is where I can geek out finally. So several years ago, they announced that, or maybe been a year ago, that they
Yeah, I
announced
think it was around a year ago.
that there would be a Star Wars Land at both Disneyland and Walt Disney World in Florida, and it was going to have not only environments from Star Wars or Star Wars environments, but some cool attractions. The details are slow in coming out. They've already started building on both lands and both parks, and there's stuff that's you can see coming up and being built. Like the AT-ATs are there, and their framework is there, and
The
then-
AT-ATs.
Yeah, that's another thing. We need to have a whole show just on how you.
I think it's
AT-AT.
AT-AT.
It is AT-AT.
Don't they say AT-AT
No,
in the movies?
it's
though?
AT-AT.
Let us know in the comments. You'd be the first commenter, by the way. But let us know how you say it. Is it AT-AT or is it AT-AT? Big controversy here.
So details of the celebration were talked about, but one of the attractions that's going to be there is allowing you to not only ride in the Millennium Falcon, but you actually get to crew the Millennium Falcon and you get to fly it. So what turned in from a passive sounding experience has now turned into more of an active experience, which is cool. They build you a little crew and you guys get
Is
on.
it VR? Like, how do they do that?
No idea.
And that's not going to be the only ride, though, right? They're going to have a ton of like Star Wars themed rides. That's what I would assume.
I believe there's two like what are considered attractions right out of the bat. Everything else is kind
Gotcha.
of the environment and how it works. I think one of the more interesting concepts that I heard about, which to me always sounds like one of these high-flying things that starts off when the park opens and then never continues, but it's things you do in one side of the park, making alliances with characters and stuff, translate to your experience happening on the other side of the park.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I thought, whoa, that's kind of amazing. If they're going to do that with their magic bands that you wear
Right.
or whatever it is, I think that's pretty cool that you can change the experience of what you're experiencing. Even weirder, and it took me a while to grasp this as everyone's emailing it and texting it to me, is that Disney is asking people, supposedly in surveys that they're asking at the parks, about their want to be staying in a Star Wars themed resort, a hotel resort, that from what we've heard could be a couple days experience, which sounds really weird, like why wouldn't you stay there the whole time? But it's a couple days experience where it's like pretty much nonstop things are happening to you in the
That's
hotel.
why I wonder if you have the limited time to stay there because they run stories.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Is that
that's what it
you've
seems
got a
like.
storyline you've got to run through, and then once it's done, it's pretty much like let's move
It's
on.
reset.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really cool. I watched the video about it, and they said that's what they were focusing on was the story aspects of the experience.
Right.
So that's interesting to me that they're going to make it into a whole like livable story.
Yeah,
rather than just walking through the.
I think the only thing that bothered me is they're pitching it, or what the survey seemed to say was that it was a luxury kind of experience.
Star Wars doesn't come cheap.
But
Yeah.
again, Star Wars is for everyone, so it seems kind of weird to target it to.
I mean, I don't think anything at Disney World or Disneyland
I was
comes
like,
cheap,
yeah,
does
I
it?
mean,
No, but they do have the kind of budget resorts, the less
Yeah.
expensive like motel-like resorts that are still cool themed.
Right.
It's just not the luxury experience you have when you stay at the mid-level or the high-level resorts. So they're well aware of being able to create experiences for their guests that are in
Right.
different budget range.
I hate to ruin the party, but we are at our cap. So, Nick, do you want to lead us out?
no.
You're
Sorry.
Well,
I caught
did such a
me
good-
by surprise because
You did
I'm watching
such a good
here.
job earlier with your YouTuber lead-in. I figured
Oh,
you could give us
okay.
a YouTuber
Yeah, I think you
lead-out.
should you lay down the spiel about
Right.
our button that we supposedly have.
Our button.
subscribe
Right.
button.
Thanks for watching, everybody. If you let us know what you'd like to see in upcoming editions of PopPlay. I know I'm stumbling all over me words right now. I can't help it. I'm doing this on the fly, as it were. Anyway, I've got to talk with my hands too, and I'm really embarrassing Doug, which is actually all right with me. Anyway, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let us know in the comments what you'd like to see on upcoming editions. Right? Thank you. Cheerio.